Welcome to Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is Jen, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
I'm Levi.
Hi, Levi.
Hi, Jen. Today, Jen, we are concluding Today we are concluding the Alexander Raid series.
It's true.
Which is very exciting.
It's been a wild ride.
It's been a wild ride.
It's like your favorite thing to do.
Incorrect. That is a lie.
It's been a wild ride.
Thank you. But first, Jen, what happened last time?
Yeah. Yep. So I guess we have to fight our way back to the core again.
We have not yet been to the final core.
Okay. Why is this? So what happened last time during the whole Alexander series has been really hard for me to manage. Because it's like you're going up a hand and then a wrist and then an arm, and then you're going up a hand and a wrist and an arm, but then you're going up some like a upper part of an arm and then into a chest and like no, we're done with the arms. We had the kitten came to the short stop, which was weird, and we learned that the cat can understand us. So we started doing like a 2 mews for yes, 1 for no, and we're like, hey, do you want to go back into Alexander? And it's like no. Let's see. I think. We get back in there. We have to go to the city place because that's the only way that we can get back into the central control room, which is where the Codex is, because Round Rocks is still in there. Yeah, so we got to go rescue Round Rocks. We find Round Rocks, and Round Rocks is all like, she's kind of fucked up. She's very tired or loopy or both. And she says, hey, let me send us back 3 years ago for funsies because Miday's here. I want to do this for Miday. And everybody's like, oh my God, fucking no. But we do anyway. We go back in time 3 years. And we all witness Miday and her friends and her love, whatever, doing the summoning. And as we're watching them do it, so is Quick Thinks. He's somewhere. He's somewhere on Alexander. He has his minions shoot Miday's companions. And I said 2, but there were actually 3. Shanoa, no. Schrodinger jump kicks Backrix's book out of his hands, so it falls like onto the cliffs below or whatever, and so does Schrodinger. Rip, maybe, we don't know. And then everything starts to go wrong. The summoning fails. Dayan is sucked into Alexander. The Codex explodes. Miday is like, what the fuck? And that's that. And then we go back to the present time, and we realize, oh, the summoning or whatever, quote unquote, was literally just them watching us go back in time. So we've created that whole cycle now. And then we realize, no, we don't yet. This makes Miday very depressed. Because, like, everything that she has ever done or wanted or whatever was, like, foretold. Like, nothing she does will change anything. And she's like, that's it. I'm just going to live in Alexander. And we're all bailing because we get Round Rocks. So we're good. But we're leaving. And Miday's like, nope, see ya. My life means nothing. And Round Rocks is very upset by this. And I think that's where we end off.
Yes.
Sick.
Well, you got there.
Yeah.
It took a while, but you did it.
All right. It was kind of a big, you're like, Jen, how could you not remember that?
That climactic scene.
Back in time, yeah.
Yeah. Your favorite part, Jen.
Yeah, well, we can wrap up Jen's thoughts on time travel at the end. But
Great. Looking forward to Jen saying it sucks, the end. Spoilers.
You don't fucking know the future, man.
We'll find out.
Look at that. Time is a flat, round shape in my butt.
Or is it?
Literally.
Also, thank you once more to those who joined us for the final Alexander, and to those who joined us last week for Cruise Chaser, who we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Jen, who was the final Alexander team?
So for our final round of Alexander, we were joined by some of our friends from the Discord. We have Andy Man as Reaper, Golden Abbey, everybody knows Golden by now, Machinist, Hikage Shine was our Dark Knight, Jinx Sincere was our Warrior, Lechu Merck was astrologian. We had 2 astrologians. Amazing. Liz Bordinger. We didn't confirm.
The latter, I'm guessing.
Bordinger. Okay. Also machinist. And I was Dragoon as per usual, and Levi was astrologian as per usual.
As per usual.
It was a very good time. I really enjoyed it. Thank you all for joining us on that. And I think that was some people's first time, because we dabbled in Savage after Savage after, and that was at least one person's first time attempting Savage anything.
Yeah,
which is really fun.
And we are jumping right into the cruise chaser fight here. So after we did the whole time travel thing for a hot moment, we're outside, we're up 1 Round Rocks, we're down 1 Mide, and Backrix dropped his journal in the past. The entries in the Watcher book have run out for quick thinks, and he is on his own. We head back into Alexander for hopefully the final time to disable the main core and put an end to it for good. Delving inwards, we find its core, a Heidelin-esque crystal at the Primal's heart. But before we can do anything about it, we are intercepted by the Guardian, the Cruise Chaser. This is a clockwork transformer. It can be man or plane.
Oh.
And it gets some iconic music.
Put that in right here.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah.
On min eye level, this is one more of those fights where we limped to the finish line. There are a bunch of mechanics at the end, and we got mostly wiped out by them, but we had enough survivors to burn down the less HP and get that clear. Most of the fight has familiar telegraphs, especially in part 1. There's a mechanic where these large, wide tech ovoids will drop down, and you need to hide behind them to avoid a line-of-sight mechanic. Otherwise, nothing too fancy. Once you get to the phase change, we get a quick time event. I heavily dislike QTEs in general, and I roll my eyes whenever they appear in this game, and this one is especially ridiculous. So we've GPS down Cruise Chaser a fair amount, and it morphs into plane form, and these air gusts appear around it. The real challenge here is figuring out you have to click on the gusts to be propelled onto the back of the Cruise Chaser. Then it lifts off, and it circles around in the air and blasts the whole arena with a laser, disintegrating it fully. Then the arena reforms. Mayhaps if they did not make us a new platform, they would have won.
Yep. Opportunity missed.
Right?
Yeah.
Then we get our QTE, or active time maneuver. You get a big warning. Watch out. Active time maneuver incoming. Brace yourselves.
Oh my God.
It begins. A bar appears and begins to decrease. A number counts down. The icon shows a jiggling controller stick. You must quickly press an button. And you hop off the ship and back onto the platform. Congratulations, you done it.
The fuck on. I can't tell you how much anxiety this gives me. I remembered nothing of this, and I was like, what button am I supposed to press? How many times am I supposed to press it?
1.
Is it going to be a sequence? Am I going to have to remember a pattern?
No.
So I'm staring at my screen like unblinkingly with my hand hovering over my keyboard like I'm ready to go. And the bar appears and I just like mash something. And it's like, great job. You did it. What? That was it. You literally can push any button. You just have to do it once.
But do not press your chat button. That will fuck you.
Every time, man. Every time. Why am I not moving? Oh, because I'm typing blah, 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 in chat.
So we succeed in the active time maneuver, and we're back in the fight. Next, we get limit cut, the original limit cut, except not actually. On normal difficulty, limit cut is essentially a DPS check against some energy ball ads, despite the cast bar labeling it limit cut. But on Savage, we get the actual origin of limit cut. We did not do Cruise Chaser Savage, but in the Savage difficulty, the players will get various numbers over their heads. Then the Cruise Chaser does various shaped cleaving AoEs that resolve in sequence according to the player numbers.
Yeah.
For those who are unfamiliar with why this is a big deal, at this point in 14's evolution, limit cut is effectively a meme in the community, in that most any mechanic that has numbers appearing over players' heads gets called limit cut. Oftentimes, this looks like some number of orbs over your head. You count the orbs, and that is the order in which the mechanic will be executed against you. Oftentimes, this involves positioning yourself so your portion of the mechanic doesn't affect the other players in the raid, or you will kill them at a minimum and wipe the raid at a maximum. After a new mechanic is identified by the player base as limit cut, debate ensues about whether this mechanic actually is limit cut, and accusations are made that the 14 player base is too quick to label mechanics a limit cut. The more you know, etc., etc. So, after the Cruise Chaser's anemic normal difficulty limit cut, we get a bunch of mechanics layered on top of each other that include line AoEs, homing AoEs, and line of sight mechanics with the tech ovoids that fall down. And this is where we lost most of our party on the clear, but we pulled through and the Cruise Chaser is defeated.
Ta-da! At last, Sid gets to bask in the overwhelming glory that is the central core. It's clear that this thing is too big to deal with directly. We need to get to central control and find a way to shut off the flow of ether. Unfortunately, that means we have to bring Round Rocks back to access the codex, risking her safety. Now, on cue, QuickThinks floats in to gloat about the futility of our efforts. Uplanders think they just lazy walk into central control. QuickThinks thinks not. All passages are sealed, all floaty boards disabled.
You've morphed into Surfer Dude, Jen.
I know, right? It's so pitted. There's only one way in now, and it will lead to our doom. He has seen it.
There's now a third personality, which I cannot identify. But distinct from the other two.
I'm the third person now. I'm not talking
as
QuickThinks anymore, yes. Shanoa, listening to this garbage, has just about had enough and jump kicks the book out of QuickThinks' hands. Oi, Wedge, Big says. Is it just me, or are you getting the feeling we've seen all this happen before? Backrix runs to the book and recognizes it as his own Watcher book. Then the grim realization hits the group. This so-called prophecy of QuickThinks' was just Backrix's record of stuff that has already happened. And the cat, Shanoa or Schrodinger, is the same cat. Shanoa has been Schrodinger this whole time. After she leapt from Alexander along with Backrix's journal 3 years ago, QuickThinks found her and renamed her Shanoa. And I did a quick Google, where is the name Shanoa from? Is there a deeper meaning? And I don't think so. It's just Shanoa is a character from Castlevania, and that's pretty much that is the strongest reference to that name. Otherwise, it's vaguely indigenous, Native American, wise or something like that. I'm I don't know. If anybody has any insight, please let us know. But the big deal here, Sid says, is that Backrix's journal is done. There's nothing left for QuickThinks to know. The future, from here on out, is ours to write. Meanwhile, QuickThinks is busy huffing copium. He also realizes that, he's not going to say it out loud, but he knows that the book of prophecy, so to speak, Backrix's journal, has ended. But he is still very much trying to convince himself that he is still the chosen one, that there is still a prophecy to fulfill. And he's kind of going through a little bit of a dramatic moment with himself. Future, I have to choose a voice.
Is that what you call jacking off, Jen?
Future book is gone. I'm sorry?
A dramatic moment with yourself?
Un petit mort? Yes, thank you. Future book is gone, but no matter. All knowings of true times are safe up here in QuickThinks' brain case. QuickThinks is chosen one, mender of history. Truth is unchanging. And then now he has to project this to his minions. And again, this is another fascist rally in the control room. You trying to everything's fine, everybody. I'm good, okay? The true times choose QuickThinks to do their bidding. True times send Shanoa into past to deliver QuickThinks knowings of future. True times live inside, guiding all of QuickThinks' doings. Every tongue flap, every busy deal, every brain spark of QuickThinks brings world closer and closer to perfection. Guides Illuminati to rightful place as rulers of new world order. True times will not be unmade by ignorant uplander. And then there's like cheers and like whoopity-doo, yay, QuickThinks is everything awesome.
Try more gobby squeals,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, more like, rustling of
Exactly.
contraptions.
Yep.
And yeah. And like that sort of noises. But now he has to step back from the podium and continue to, again, huff the copium. QuickThinks needs no future book, no gobby girl. QuickThinks needs nothing and no one but own self. Future has chosen, and future chooses QuickThinks. Yes, even now, power granted by true times wells from QuickThinks' fingertips. Power beyond understanding of Uplander's feeble brain cases.
At this point, without the help of Round Rocks being in there, we have QuickThinks kick Alexander back into motion. All the pistons and cogs and so on begin to whir as we can see the Colossus surging back into motion under his control. So again, there's no Round Rocks up there, so this is a bit suspicious.
Right.
Meanwhile, we took a quick break outside the Colossus, and now we make it back to the core again in short order with the Ironworks team. We find QuickThinks there, ready for our return, ready to mock us. Maybe he still sees a future, Jin.
Well, I mean, he's not dumb, but this is where he's starting to lose his mind and lose his grasp on everything.
QuickThinks declares that time moves on, imperfect past giving way to perfect future. Worthy or unworthy of place in new world order, Alexander will judge. And now the core pulses and the whole platform we're on is surrounded in a stop-time sphere. A mini Alexander manifests from the core, appearing before us, but it is still pretty big relative to our sizes. And is charging up a laser blast, or holy, perhaps, for the Alexander fans. Regardless, though, as the beam charges, we are still standing still. We're still in the poses we had as we were discussing how best to dismantle the core. We see ourselves stuck in these same poses as the beam gets more and more intense until suddenly the stop time field fades and we're able to dodge out of the way at the last moment. The mini Alexander vanishes into a pulsing time vortex, which persists. We don't want to wait around to see if it reappears again if the mini Alexander reappears. So we head into the distortion to battle it on its own turf. And this is the final confrontation. We find it waiting for us on a great circular platform, and we get to work. We start off with a warm-up round against Alexander. Beyond a smattering of AoEs, the main thing we're going to learn here are its two big AoEs, which are telegraphed only by animations. The first one is an orthogonal blast. There are fat line AoEs that go out to the fore, rear, left, and right. This is telegraphed by these lightning-like lines that appear along its orthogonal facings. At either end of the lines are lightning balls. If you position yourself between the balls and not inside Alexander, you'll be safe. And this mechanic is used in some future fights too, so it's a good animation to learn. The other AoE that can appear is a fat donut. It's telegraphed by energy swirls rising up around Alexander. We evade those, and Alexander vanishes, taking us to the ads phase. We fight a bunch of miscellaneous forgekin. These guys are pretty easy and normal, but they do serve to charge our LB bar to full limit break 3. And we're about to need it too, as I believe this is the first instance of a mandatory tank limit break 3 in the game.
I think so.
As when the Forgekin are defeated, a full-size giant Alexander rises up from the arena's edge and prepares to annihilate us with its ultimate attack. A countdown begins. My rule of thumb for this style of tank limit break mechanic, if I'm playing tank, is to hit the LB at the 4-second mark of the countdown. As the tank LB3 doesn't last especially long, and it takes a moment to go off. So we gird ourselves appropriately, and the limit break absorbs the blast, and the real fight starts here. We now get the time mechanics. These are pretty fun. What's going to happen here is that various players will be marked with various AoEs. On normal, it's primarily stack markers and homing AoEs. And you have to position yourselves appropriately before Alexander stops time. Once it does, you're locked in. It'll be frozen in place, and you can watch yourselves either resolve the mechanic successfully or wipe if you put the homing AoE inside the stack marker. Later on in the fight, the giant Alexander appears again over the arena and will fire laser beams at players while you're fighting the smaller Alexander. It's Alexanderception over here. The other fun mechanic are the time vortexes. Early on in this phase, 4 vortexes appear in the arena, and the DPS player should head into them. These take you back in time to when the mini Alexander first confronted us outside the arena. The players are dropped onto these floating platforms that are situated around the Alexander core. And you can see the time field where our Warrior of Light, Sid, Biggs, and Wedge are frozen and about to be obliterated. Up here, there are Forgekin that are maintaining this time stop field. You have to destroy them within a fixed amount of time. Otherwise, the Alexander in the time stop field fully charges its beam and kills you and the Ironworks team.
Oh. Something just made sense.
Hit me.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
this has repercussions later on in the story.
Yes. So if you fail, this essentially adds DPS check, then your past day self dies in the time stop field, and therefore your present day self never was alive in the first place, and you just wipe. So very fun mechanic conceptually, just being way up there, seeing your frozen characters.
I didn't see that. I didn't notice that at all.
Should look around more, Jen.
Because I'm
typical tunnel vision, Jen.
Exactly. Like I am focused on the task at hand. I do not have the bandwidth or the time to sightsee. Also,
I know this does not apply to you, Jen, but you can also hear Quick Thinks' dialogue. Here, I mean, you see text boxes pop up of his dialogue to you during the time stop sequence.
That's cool, man. I need to do this like 10 more times.
Great, you can do it.
Yeah, I've brought up the movie before, but like Memento, it's one of those movies you need to watch like 5 times so that you can reverse engineer how everything happened.
So once you beat the final ad, then you have a moment, the DPS players have a moment to kind of camp out, and you can look down at the time bubble and see it fade and see everyone dodge the laser beam. Your present day selves get warped back into the Alexander boss fight. Meanwhile, the support jobs have been just fighting Alexander. They get the lame job. The DPS get the cool thing.
That's true. Damn, that's cool.
It is cool. Finally, Jen likes time travel. Got her.
But that's really fucking clever. Because when the sphere engulfs our platform and time stops within it, and then suddenly time starts again, like there's something. At first I thought it was Dan, like Dan's soul or whatever was in there, and he was like, no, and protecting us or something. But it was our future selves going back in time to defeat the little machines that were keeping the time stop in place.
Yes.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So that's the main highlights of the normal tier fight. We spent some time on Savage too. It's interesting to see the evolution of the Savage mode throughout the course of the 3 Alexander raid series. The first one against Manipulator was a glorified normal mode with a couple twists. Now, though, in this finale, we get a proper Savage. It's still less complex than modern-day standards. We made it through the first couple phases during our run over the course of like half an hour, and we ran out of time progging the mechanics after the tank LB segment. A major stumbling point for us were these ground AoEs that go out concurrent with the line or donut AoE mechanic. You've seen this kind of mechanic beforehand. It's the black circles on the floor with the red swirlies. These function just like any other telegraphed circle AoE. You don't stand in the shit and then you're good. Except here, though, the full-size black ground AoEs are preceded by these tiny little black circles that expand to full size in a few seconds after they appear. And you have to spot these small black markers and then pre-estimate the footprint of the full-size AoE that they were going to form and not be there, as if you're standing in the AoE after it expands, you're essentially dead.
Yeah, this isn't atypical for a telegraph of an AoE where it starts small and gets bigger and whatever. We've done this a million times.
Yeah.
The difference here is that the timing is so sharp. You have no time. You have to position yourself pretty much while these puddles are still small, because once they grow to large size, you're done. That snapshot is immediate. And like, it doesn't matter if you have sprint, it doesn't matter. You will get got.
It's so frustrating. You can be standing well in the clear and then you just die.
Yep.
The snapshot is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then like a second afterwards, the AoEs go off.
Yep. Exactly.
Some BS.
So, I mean, like, this is a pattern that we've all done before. Like, we know that we can stand in the animation. It hasn't gone off. So there's a bit of a grace period there. There is none grace period here. Yeah, this was brutal.
It is very brutal. This killed like half the raid consistently. So that's like the main stumbling point. After we get past the first one of those, though, and get through the ads phase and the tank LB, we get some classic Savage debuff spam. There are like 4 kinds of debuffs that go out, and you have to read your debuff bar, and you have to go to the pre-assigned positions for the debuff that you have, etc.
Yeah,
some
we had to
Savage
put
ass
markers
shit.
out.
Yeah, this is when I roll my eyes personally.
No, I love it. So when you're in Savage mode, that to me, like, that's the expectation. So that's totally fine.
I mean,
cool.
Yes, that's why I have stopped doing Savage.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
So I love that. Like, you had a quick look, see what you got, and then, go to that spot. So it's like, processing that information so fast, which is really satisfying when you get it right. But yeah.
So we done it. We have defeated Alexander, kind of.
Kind of. I mean, this was the artist formerly known as Alexander. I know. I had some, not Alexander, but still also somehow Alexander. It looked different. It looks different from the Alexander that we see nestled in the river. So now we have a path to the control room that is clear. And Y'shtola and Round Rocks have now joined us. Pray, lend us your strength one more time, child. We all know who said that. So we all get on the platform that will lift us into the control room, but QuickThinks is there waiting for us. He promises to turn back time and undo everything. Again. The Illuminati will rule. And Biggs laughs. Bro needs Round Rocks and he can pry her from our cold, dead hands. But QuickThinks shocks us all as he steps up to the codex and begins accessing it.
Which, for those not keeping track at home, means that QuickThinks has the necessary mental state, the desire for knowledge for its own sake.
The codex has deemed him valid.
Yes.
Yeah,
valid.
Economically viable.
Sure.
So he was able to do this the whole time. But with QuickThinks' attention on the codex, he doesn't notice a gun blade pointing to the back of his head. Mide drops a truth bomb. When Alexander fully awakens, Anyone controlling it is at risk of being wholly consumed by its power, which is why QuickThinks needed Round Rocks. He didn't want to risk himself. QuickThinks' surprise at her appearance quickly turns to smugness. She is too late. The future has chosen. You poor, deluded fool, she says. You never did work it out, did you? The future doesn't choose us. We choose the future. And bam! She fires a bullet directly into the back of QuickThinks' head, and he goes down. And Sid yells, "Now, child!" to Round Rocks, and she connects to the codex and disables the core.
Jen, this is a refreshing kill. There's no attempt to dicker around with this world threat here.
There's no monologuing. It's just like the future chooses us. Boom, down.
Yes.
It was actually, it shocked me at like the abrupt violence of it. All right. Well, so Tid, old Tiddy here. Sid takes a look at the instrumentation to confirm. The core's power stores are depleting, and with the supply of ether cut off, it's only a matter of time until it fades away completely. Round Rocks wonders how Mide stayed safe in the midst of the Illuminati stronghold. And Mide really has no idea. She remembers a shaking before being tossed in a dark room, and she remembers nothing until a short while ago when she woke up and we were like all already here. Sid is like, sounds like you fell down a trash chute, but you're safe, and with that, this operation was a success. So now that the dust is settled, the core is disabled, Yestola wants us all to GTFO. But what's this? A light on QuickThinks' helmet blinks back on. And there's some painful mechanical screeching, and the goblin lifts his upper body up enough to reconnect to the codex. Sid was convinced we killed the bastard. Negative, QuickThinks squeaks. That wasn't a squeak, but whatever. QuickThinks' better built own body, made stronger than ordinary gobby. Oh shit, the dude's helmet isn't a helmet. It's his head. He's more machina than goblin. And QuickThinks prays to Alexander again, and the Codex starts to engage the time thrusters.
On the heels of that swift intervention, now this shit drives me crazy because we are 20 feet away from QuickThinks.
Yeah.
His channeling of his energy into the Codex goes on forever, and we're just standing around
like
going,
has one bullet.
What do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's us. We got Y'shtola, we got ourselves, we got Sid.
Yeah, I could throw a spear. Round Rocks could throw a rock. Wedge could kick a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no, what do we do? How do we stop this interruptible action?
Shoot him again. You're right there.
Anyway,
Blam.
so
Blam.
one good, bad, or wow.
One good, bad.
One good, one bad with the sensible interventions at the crucial moment.
Yes, and so now we're back into classic
par
14
again.
Yes.
Yep.
As Alexander begins to power back on, suddenly alarms begin sounding, and red lights are flashing, and the flow of energy to the Codex reverses to QuickThinks. And there's a flash of light, and the Codex explodes into 1,000 pieces yet again, and QuickThinks slumps to the floor, the light fading from his eyes for the last time. The giant screen hanging over the control room now starts to glow, and Mide walks over to it. The glow of the screen pulses. Dayan? My love, could it truly be you? Indeed. Dayan has been in the machine the entire time.
It pulses twice.
Which
she assumes to mean it's him.
Right. So, yeah, there's some sort of nonverbal communication going on here.
Yeah, blink.
Yeah.
Blink-based communication.
The two have a brief exchange, with Dayan using the screen to blink, simple yeses or nos. But behind her, there's some concerning activity at the core. And without the Codex to control it, the core begins to pull in ether like crazy. It's gotta be stopped before it sucks Eorzea dry. But Mide understands what she must do. This is why you summoned me to this place, isn't it? She walks back towards the opening above the core. And she looks at all of us. I thank you for guiding me here, she says to us. And Round Rocks, know that I shall always treasure the time that we shared. Farewell, my friends. And she trust falls back into the core. And Round Rocks rushes towards her to try to grab her hand as Mide is absorbed by the core. And a final message reaches our ears. Leave this place. Alexander will no longer burden you. So we flee. Cut to a place outside of place. A place outside of our physical world. An expanse of blue swirling with tiny motes of light. And Mide and Dayan stand together. What is this place? She asks. It's a projection. It's a simulation, he says. Perhaps the dream that Alexander dreams. From here, Alexander can look to the past, present, and future and see every possibility. He saw a world where the Illuminati took over. A world where Alexander averted the calamity. After examining all possible realities, all mathematically computable realities, it determined that Alexander itself was the world's greatest threat, and therefore it erased itself from existence. It was Alexander's ability to travel through time and space that made it an existential threat, for in so doing it would drain the world of ether and eventually bring ruin. A time will come, Dayan continues, when the fate of the world is placed in the hands of one warrior. Though Alexander could not calculate anything beyond that day for some reason, it put its faith in them.
I hate this so much.
Yeah.
This is so unnecessary.
I know. We didn't have to be a part of this.
No.
At all!
We did not.
Either way, Alexander still didn't need to exist. So the fate of the world is in our hands. Great. Alexander doesn't need to exist. The fate of the world can be in anybody else's hands, the world's hand, whatever. Alexander doesn't need to exist. Alexander will always be the threat, exclusive from whatever we're doing. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, everything else that was said is fine, but we don't need to get a fluffing ourselves in the process.
I felt almost embarrassed.
Yeah, same.
Like, oh God, I don't need a name drop. Stop it. There's one thing Alexander did do as far as an intervention. To tip the scales away from the Illuminati, Alexander sent out a humble servant, a clockwork curl kitten that nudged history back into alignment. Well, jump kicked it, but, nudge, whatever. Dayan holds out his hands, and the horn, the horn, materializes above it. The horn and the core have become one now. And it must be sealed away forever in its own little pocket of space-time, along with the two of them. Don't you see, my love? We are already there. In coming here to you, I have closed the circle of time.
It's Mide saying this.
This is Mide, yeah. Because, she's the one going like, my love, whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, sorry. I have closed the circle of time. I am all but certain of it. When I accepted the horn all those years ago, the man who gave it to me said that it had the power to grant any wish. And so, as I took it in hand, I prayed and prayed with every ounce of my will for the one true desire in my heart, to be with you forever. Fade to black. Cut. Back to the real world. Outside the time barrier that surrounds Alexander, Biggs is decompressing when he gets an urgent call on his link pearl. Round Rocks has gone missing again. After watching Mide throw herself into a running engine, Biggs is very worried about her state of mind. But we have a theory about where she might be. And as assumed, Round Rocks is standing at Mide's favorite spot, at the top of the broken bridge that looks out over the river. She just wanted to do some quote-unquote back-thinking. Also, as she was running out of Alexander, she felt something rattling around in her pocket. And she pulls out her little glowstone, the same chunk of the Enigma Codex that she's been carrying around this whole time. The fragment that started it all. It's just a little rock now. No matter how many times she tries, it won't light up for her anymore. Just then, Sid and Y'shtola run up in a panic. Oh my god. Okay, you're safe. Great. Crisis averted. But Round Rocks shares the news about the fragment. It's dead to us now. It's not entirely surprising, Sid says. She's no longer a naive little girl. Round Rocks has now seen what blind devotion to ideals can bring. To be clear, Sid says, it's fine to dream, but at some point, you gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You gotta hunker down. You gotta put your nose to the grindstone. You create that dream with your own hands, your own sweat, blood, and tears. And then even in failure, you walk away with something you can carry with you into the future. Obviously Sid is not a bootstraps guy, but
I don't know. Could have fooled me, Jen.
It was adjacent. Well, Round Rocks is delighted by this message, and she promises to build a beautiful city of her treasures and her junk. Oh, one last thing is she would like to leave the Codex fragment inside Alexander for Mide, because this is what represented her dream. Alas, Y'shtola tells her that's really not going to be possible for any of us to re-enter the barrier. Alexander, anything beyond that barrier is just out of bounds for us anymore. Oh, look who it is, turning up at the most interesting moments. Oh, Sid has a thought. The cat seemed to be able to get in and out of Alexander whenever it wanted. I mean, it's too bad about the time being stopped thing inside the barrier. Otherwise, we could just give the fragment to Shanoa and send her in. Meow meow. Whoa. Does that mean yes? And the cat meows again with enthusiasm. All right, giving a stone to a cat in hopes of delivering it to two souls trapped in time? Now I think we've seen everything. Do you think those two will ever be free of that place? Sid says, wondering about Mide's and Diane's fates. Perhaps one day, when the perfect future they sought to bring about becomes reality, Y'shtola says. In that sense, one might even say their fate is in our hands. And Round Rock says she'll work hard and build a sparkly, shining future for Mide, which is beautiful and heartbreaking and meh.
Heartbreaking because it's in the past.
She lost her bestie.
That too.
Yeah. And she's still it's a beautiful friendship. I wish they had maybe harped on that a little bit more, developed that a little bit more. Because we get they bonded over oh my God, you love junk. I also love junk. And that's kind of that's as deep as it got.
Yes.
And, Round Rock's being a child, she's, I guess, scale-wise a little bit smaller than the other Gobbies, but there's no other real indication that she is a child. So that dynamic never really comes to the forefront. And so there's maybe this mentorship thing. It's, Mide speaking to someone that, maybe it's her younger self, a little bit of a stand-in there with Round Rocks. We don't know because we didn't get any of that. And that's a bummer. But we do know that their bond was very strong, and Round Rocks attached to Mide so quickly. Which makes me wonder, how is her relationship with her dad? Slow Fix? Where's he? He just lets his daughter hang out the shortstop, doing all this time travel shit. She got fucking kidnapped, and Slow Fix has never once come down to the shortstop to be like, how's my kid doing?
We got it. He's busy.
All right. I mean, he's running the thing, but all right. But before we head back to the shortstop, Y'shtola hands us an old tome to give to Backrix. So we go back and we hand him this book, and he's like, oh, yes, he is stoked about this book. It's full of Charlian legends. And he starts to flip through it, casually skimming the contents until, boom, something stops him dead in his tracks. Oi, you feeling all right there? You look like you've seen... What is this accent? Oi, you feeling all right there? You look like you've seen a ghost. I have no idea.
Who is that?
That's Biggs.
Biggs? Okay.
Yeah. And, perhaps he has. What Backrix has found is the story of the Hotgo tribe, which is Mide's and Dayan's tribe. Many, many years ago, way back in the old times, 2 children, a boy and a girl, step out from the belly of a steel giant. When they grow up, they become the father and mother of the Hotgo. The legend even includes their names, Mide and Dayan, and pictures. And yep, there they are. A little on the nose, but okay. Also, when the children emerged from the machine, they had a small rock that glowed when held. Round Rocks bounces with excitement. Glowstone of Round Rocks! Time is indeed a flat, round shape. Biggs has a question for us, and it's been bugging him for a while. So, remember when we almost got annihilated by the Colossus inside a Colossus? At that moment, he felt the strangest sensation. A feeling that chilled him to the bone, like something terrible had happened, but he could not remember. Well, Wedge pipes up and he's like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, I felt that same thing too, right at that moment. And he asks us, do you have any idea what that's about? And we have a prompt here. We can say, I'm afraid I do. Or, I'm afraid I don't. I choose do because I figured this was something I missed and I should know it. So
correct.
As
a DPS.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. So I choose, I'm I'm afraid I do. And the tone of my voice, and you're afraid you do? Wedge is like, all right, that fills me with none comfort whatsoever. We're going to need you to not tell us what that's about. That's fine. You can take that secret to the grave. Don't need to hear it. And so when you were talking about the shit, I was like, oh, fuck.
When Jen says we the shit, what they're asking about is why do we get free from the time stop bubble? And the answer...
Well, it was because there was an equal chance that we all could have just died there.
Yes.
So they felt that their lives were snuffed out in that moment. But, coin toss or whatever, or we did the work to make sure that we didn't die.
Through another paradox, they did not die.
Right.
Because without said paradox, then there's no one to stop the stop time bubble.
So it's still it's in their blood now. They remember something that didn't happen.
Yes.
Yeah. And with that fun little nugget, the saga of Alexander seems to officially be at an end.
Or at a beginning, Jen.
Until we do extremes.
Or at a beginning, Jen.
Yes, thank you. We don't know. Time is Firoche.
I said this 2 episodes back, Jen, but my time travel pet peeve is when the writers insert a last-minute paradox into a time travel story just to fuck shit up pretty much.
Yeah.
And here we are. I'll let the Watcher book sum it up for me. Watcher book says, after sealing away Alexander's core and seed of destruction were 2 uplanders sent to passed by God in machine to be reborn as children, growing to be father and mother of new people. If so, one question sticks in Backrix's brain case. Alexander is born from ideals recorded in Enigma Codex, but tribe of people uplanders who created Enigma Codex are born from Alexander. How this is possible is not clear to Backrix. Backrix will be racking brain case over this one for a long time.
Indeed. Also, Mide is her own grandfather's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Yes, she is her own daughter. With some gaps, correct.
She's a child twice, I guess.
All right, Jen, we have done it. This is a full Alexander, but not a perfect Alexander.
Not a perfect. But yeah, the full.
I would sum my feelings up by calling it a B movie. It has fun action and set pieces, but fairly shallow characters and a plot that satisfies only on a surface level.
That's true. Yeah, and you can't really think about it too much. It's a B+ movie for me.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of B movies, and good God.
Oh, we get a B+. Is it from the special effects?
Special effects are good. There's a little bit more character development. There are more interesting moments, like the shit.
The shit.
You know.
When
shit
Jen says the shit, she means the self-saving time loop.
Yes. That's cool. I did enjoy Cat kicking Book out of hand, and that Book being like the crux of the whole prophecy thing. So as far as time travel shit goes, you can't think about it too much because I tend to try to visualize things like in a mechanical way, and it all has to like work and be logical, and this just doesn't. It can't. So
are you talking about the paradoxes, Jen?
Yes.
So I spent some time today. I'm not a time travel fan. I'm not saying I'm a hater. I'm just saying I don't really care enough in general to care. But because this is our responsibility,
right.
I spent some time today combing through some time travel theories in relation to Alexander and in general. And this is amateur hour here, but I understand one way of thinking about a time loop like this, Jen, is that you imagine that things happened differently in the past, and they created paradoxes which cause more time loops, etc., until eventually they get to a stable time loop where the events can loop back to themselves.
In perpetuity.
One way of thinking about this kind of thing is that the first Alexander story was not our Alexander story. It was a lot more chaotic and people probably died, but then something caused it to go back in time, repeat until we got to a recursive
a self-sustaining
story. That is one way
economy.
to look at it, yes.
Right. I'm okay with that.
Great.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with previous iterations of the time loop kind of derailed. And so this is me again visualizing it mechanically. So when they send, Alexander sends Shanoa out there to just be like, if you could just knock that book out of somebody's hand, that would be great. And then everything snaps back nicely.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
For your purposes, Jen, having a omniscient agent being Shanoa, for instance, who can see beyond causality. Yeah. Or I guess who can see causality beyond linearity, I suppose I'd say.
Right.
That helps to fudge a lot more than just like a random happenstance. People who do these stories love to create paradoxes because I guess this is like a sick pleasure.
100%.
To fuck with the Jins of the world.
Oh yeah,
but
this is sadism for sure.
Here, though, again, we do have this agent, this omniscient power with mastery over time that can then see what needs to be set right and who wants to set things, quote, right. Ultimately, Alexander was created and then led to his own defeat or stasis, as the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I do like the self-saving thing. It's a very fun trick to see yourself down there and to intervene in yourself.
Yes,
but
because, like I said, when that moment happened, I had already had an assumption in my head, oh, I bet this is what happened. And then to know that it was me the whole time, it's fucking crazy. It's fun.
Yes, of course I know him.
It's fun. He's me.
So that was a great time overall. I mean, the story does not fully satisfy me, but the gameplay, all the raids are very fun. No question. This was a very fun replay through as well,
Fantastic.
Doing everything on min-eye level and actually getting those mechanics in full.
For sure. I was really looking forward to it because, again, the first time I just didn't quite get it. We didn't linger long enough to really explore it, and it just kind of washed over me. So this made me face it eye to eye, nose to nose, and really appreciate it.
So, Jen, for those who have not just played this through in full and who have been listening to this over the course of 6 episodes and have maybe played Alexander 1 to 10 years back, can you summarize in a linear fashion the Alexander story?
My God.
On a high level?
No.
I thought you got it, Jen. I just heard you say, I got it.
Well, no. I mean, I got it, but if you made me go Jen, what happened last time? We know how well that worked.
I'm trolling you, yes, Jen, I know.
Okay, great. All right.
So, Jen, if I may, as a public service, much of this is open to interpretation and your own kind of take on the time travel physics, so to speak here. But we had this old tribe of Al-Ra back in the day who had this codex, or at least a piece of codex, which they later on went to develop, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward quite a bit to the present day. This group of scholars want to summon Alexander, which their legends tell of creating like a perfect world. So they assemble the Enigma Codex and they go to this place on the Thaliac River. They're like, all right, Alexander, come to us. And then Alexander appears. And I think, Jen, that the Alexander that appears to the scholar team, including Mide, the past Mide, and her BF, whose name escapes me offhand, Dan, I don't think they summoned it successfully. I think that our time travel put us back there. Roundbrox in the present day wanted to send Mide back to where her boyfriend Dayan was.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, Alexander appears before them for a short time. It contains goblins who shoot down most of the research crew. Mide seals up Alexander. The codex dies. Her boyfriend gets sucked into Alexander. Fast forward further. We have our Asian who sees a way to create some more calamities.
Right.
Gives Mide the horn. Says, hey, if you really believe this can make your dreams come true. And it does, kind of. Right. So she takes this thing and works with the Illuminati to summon Alexander, probably for the first time. Therefore, creating Alexander out of this Charlatan construct. Mide's trying to get the Illuminati to help her, but they betray her and take Alexander for themselves. Mm-hmm. She comes to us saying, please help. We do many Alexander adventures. Eventually, we get to the point where they capture Roundbrox. She helps Mide go back in time, thus creating the first sighting of Alexander where it got bubbled 3 years in the past. We've created the loop there with the Watcher book from Baccarix. That is given to Quick Thinks, who then puts him on the path of getting to Alexander in the present day, too. So we have Mide with the horn and Quick Thinks with the book, both who are pursuing their own paths, which converge on Alexander.
Boom.
After all that, we get to where we are today, where we're going in to stop the core. I mean, that's about it pretty much. We're in today's events. We do stop the core. Alexander fights us.
Right.
We, of course, confront Quick Thinks in the control room. He's defeated after some back and forth. Mide hops in the core and gets spit back out again in the past with the chunk of codex that we had Shnoa bring her. Mm-hmm. There's a loop, Jen. So that is an encapsulated time loop, and we can go on with our future selves here into the unknown future. And that paradox is in place, but they are cyclical paradoxes, so they don't cause us further ripplings down the line.
Yeah, it's like watching a YouTube short that loops nicely.
Yeah, look at that, just like that.
Just feeds into the beginning. Yeah,
perfect.
Like Ouroboros.
Great metaphor, Jen. All right, well.
That's for the Gen Z.
There you go. That was a slapdash summary, but hopefully helps those who,
that was great,
half remember. Thank you, Jen. Half remember it from some years past to jog said memories.
Did you have that outlined, or did you just kind of pull that together from your memories?
I did a lot of reading today on Alexander talks and so on.
Just now, you kind of
I just synthesized that myself.
Yeah, I saw it in real time. You were just searching for the words and pulling it all together in real time. You weren't reading a script.
With prep today, though. But
still.
Thank you for the kudos, Jen.
Yes. Take the goddamn compliment.
Thank you, Jen. I will. There's a line in the Alexander fight where it creates the time vortexes that we use to go back into the past. This was a bad segment because we're talking about a line that is half remembered and we could not source in real time then. But during the fight with Alexander, when the Forgekin are sent through time vortexes and the DPS rolls follow them to save yourselves in the past, Alexander Prime says, "My faithful, to the past with you, to free these ones from the prison of time." Which seems to imply that Alexander is sending us as his faithful, or maybe the Forgekin are going to somehow sync with the time field and us killing them destabilizes it. I don't know, time travel sci-fi stuff. Either way, just calling out that Alexander does us a mercy during our fight with him in allowing us to go back in time to save ourselves. Anyhow, we done it. This is a long episode. Let's end it here. Next week, we're taking a break. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun, but also a lot of runs and a lot of full weeks to get this all assembled. So we're taking 1 week off. We'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 200. So see you then. Oh, that time we're going to do a special extreme roundup. Extreme 200.
Yeah.
Where we'll be doing the extreme versions of the trials we faced so far in the MSQ. So we got Ravana. We got Thordan. We got the other guy who is level 57. What is that?
Is it Bismarck?
Yes, thank you, Bismarck.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember Thornton Extreme.
Me too. That is one of my favorite extremes. In my recollection, I'm hoping for the same this time.
Yeah. It was traumatizing, like in a good way.
Yeah, I gotchas.
Yeah. So looking forward to going back with a little bit more experience under my belt.
Same and same.
Yeah.
So we will see you then.
And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And, you know, I think maybe Mide and Round Rocks should end up on like Maury Povich or something, because Mide is her own like great-great-grandmother and Round Rocks has an absent fucking father. Or I guess that's more of a Jerry. It's been a minute, forgive me. Anyway, if you want to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. We are at the same tag on Blue Sky. Check the show notes for our Discord and a link to the official pod t-shirt. I don't want to speak out of turn here, but we might have another shirt in the works. It might be too soon, but I'm just really excited about what Levi's working on. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Anyway. And last but not least, our Patreon, patreon.com/podreturnffxiv. And we got a couple of tiers going on there. For $1 a month, you get access to the seasonal events from 14. We talk about other things like the card game, the tabletop RPG. We have random interviews with friends. All that stuff goes there. And then for $2 a month, you also get access to our bonus series, Sightseeing Log. And we've played Final Fantasy XI, and I'm currently in the middle, or at the last leg almost of Final Fantasy VI. It's getting really exciting, and I'm getting way better at this game. I must say.
You are.
Yeah, I'm relying far less on the quote-unquote local expert. And with that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time.